Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Let's go over what we did from yesterday. So, what we first went over were the parts of speech in the Arabic language. And we had mentioned that there were three parts of speech. Number one was ism, which is, as we categorize it, it's a person, place, thing, idea, adjective, adverb, or name. And an ism cannot be a fi'l or a harf. The second, the fi'l is the verb, which we're not going to be focusing much on. And three was harf. It's a participle preposition, or spelled preposition wrong, that needs an ism or fi'l with it. And we went over that. And then we went over that there were three ways to identify an ism, and that the majority of this class will be spent on understanding ism. The first way that we will identify an ism is through the tanween. And the tanween we mentioned would be an, or in. It's the double sound at the end of the word. Number two is the alif lam. Alif lam at the beginning of a word. It's not just any alif lam, but it is the alif lam that makes a word into something proper. So alhamdu, al-alamina, al-fatihatu, alladhi, and likewise. And the third was the ta marbuta. The ta marbuta, we mentioned that it gives two things. It gives two things about it. It tells two things about a word. Number one is that it is an ism. It is an ism, obviously, because that's what we're studying. And the second thing is that the word is feminine. Only a feminine word has ta marbuta. Now, though we have not gone over exactly how to differentiate a word between masculine and feminine, we know that the ta marbuta at least tells us that. And then we did some Quranic examples. And then we started the study of the ism. We started our study of the ism. We mentioned that there are four properties of an ism. Now, we don't know all four properties yet, but yesterday we began to speak about status. And status, we said about it that there are three forms of status that we will study. The first form of status is rafa. And in a rafa status, all isms are considered rafa by default. All isms are considered rafa by default. And that we divided it further into four categories, how to tell if an ism is rafa. If a word is singular, we don't know fully yet how to tell if a word is singular, but if a word is singular, we mentioned first that the sound that it will make at the end is u or un. That's the first thing. And then if it's dual, the sound it'll have at the end is ani. And if it's plural, the sound that it'll have at the end is what? Una. Una. And then for the fourth thing, for sound feminine plurals, what did we mention? We mentioned that if the ending is atun, that it is considered what? Rafa. And we did examples of these. The second thing we went over category of status is nasab. And when it came to the nasab category, we mentioned what? That you can tell if a word is nasab by the ending sound, where we said that a singular word, the ending will be a or an. A or an. And for a dual ism, we mentioned what? That the ending sound is going to be aini. Aini. And for the plural ism, we mentioned that the ending sound will be ina. Ina. The ending sound will be ina. And then for the sound feminine plural, we mentioned what? That it'll be atin. We mentioned that for nasab. Now, we went over the idea of nasab and jar being the same for dual plural and sound feminine plural. What did that mean? That meant that when an ism is in aini, ina, or atin, that we'll refer to it as nasab or jar. Meaning, if I hear kitabaini, which means two books, I don't know right away if it is nasab, and I don't know right away if it is jar. That's only in which categories? No. Singular is the one which we don't do anything with. Which categories? Dual, plural, sound feminine plural. Okay? Dual, plural, sound feminine plural. So nasab and jar are only differentiated in which category right now? Singular. Singular. They're only differentiated in singular, yes.
So page 21, I think it's missing the on B1.
Page 21, it's missing what?
Go to do. And Aini, remaining.
Oh, just, yeah, right, slash jar. Okay. Remember? Yes, so we mentioned that. We did more examples of it. And then we spoke about jar, and we said that when it comes to identifying jar status, it is done so on a singular word with the ending of E or in. E or in. And then for dual and plural, it is the same as what? Nasab, very good. And dual plural sound feminine plural, atin. And then we went over that. Okay. Now, did you all get the homework or the email that I sent out? Okay. So let's go over the homework. Was the homework difficult? Quite straightforward after, right? Sorry? Yeah, so use your notes. That's what it remembers. So let's take a look at the homework. So fi'ataini. Fi'ataini. Rafa, nasab or jar? Or nasab or jar? Nasab or jar. Does everyone understand why? Good. Al-munafiquna. Rafa, why? Una. Very good. Wahidatun. Rafa, why? Tun. Good. Ash-shahawati. Only jar? Nasab or jar. Very good. Do you see why? Why is it nasab or jar? Because we mentioned what? Actually, let me ask you, what's the rafa form of this? Ash-shahawatu. That's rafa. What's the nasab form? E. What's the jar form? Very good. So you don't know between them yet, right? And we said that in nasab and jar, the only thing which is similar is what? The singular. This is a sound feminine plural. And with sound feminine plurals, they will match up in nasab and jar for now.
Is the meaning missing for a reason? Or?
Yeah, so we're going to go over that today. But tanween is missing for a reason. We'll go over it today.
We are still expected to figure it out, I guess.
No, you're not. What did I mention? It's E or in. Atin, ati.
Yeah, I think T was classified as yeah.
Ati. Ati. Number 5. Rasi khuna. What is it? Rafa. Very good. Kafiratun. Rafa. Why? Why is it Rafa? Tun. Good. Ibratan. How about that? Nasab. Good. Aqibatun. Rafa. Al-mukaththibina. Nasab or jar. Very good. Nafsun. Rafa. Good. Walladhani. Rafa. Why? Ni? Ani. Good. Khasmani. Rafa. Good. Ibrahima. Nasab. Very good. It's technically nasab or jar, but we'll go over later today why. But for what we've taught, so what we went over yesterday, you would have known. Maryamu. Rafa. Good. Hasidin. Jar. Very good. That's it. Okay. Any questions? Okay. So let's go over the news material that we're going to be having today. Page 22. Page 22. Heavy and light words. Now, heavy and light words, it's as simple as I'm going to make it sound. Take the lesson at face value and do not overthink it. Meaning that whatever is written there is what it means. Now, whether you understand it conceptually, that's not my goal with this. It's for you to be able to apply it, and that's it. So don't try to understand it conceptually, because the concept is not made to be understood conceptually. It's made to be used in a very applicable fashion. There are certain things in the Arabic language that make a word heavy or light, and what that is actually irrelevant as of this point. So there are things that make a word heavy or light. What makes it heavy or light? It's not relevant right now. But what I do want you to know is that a word does become heavy or light. Does that make sense? That's all I want you to understand. I don't want you to know how. I want you to know that it is a fact. Once we progress more into the book, we'll learn the various ways a word is deemed heavy or light. At this point, you just need to know how these two categories are defined, i.e., what is a heavy word and what is a light word. A heavy word by default refers to all isms. Okay? Actually, no, let me go back. By default, all isms are assumed to be heavy. So that means an ism will only be light if it has a reason to be light. Now again, do we know why an ism becomes light? We don't, right? We don't. When an ism is referred to as heavy, it means one of two things. One of two things. Number one is that the ism ends in una, ina, ani, or aini. That's the first one. Okay. Una, ina, ani, aini. And the second reason that a ism can be heavy is that it ends in a tanween. Muslimun, musliman, muslimin. Muslimatun, muslimatin. Now let me ask, muslimuna. Muslimuna. What's the gender of Muslim? I'm sorry, not the gender, what am I saying? What is the number of muslimuna? Do you know? Is it singular, dual, or plural? Plural. How do you know? Because yesterday we categorized it into plural, right? How about muslimina? Ina is a plural. Very good. How about muslimani? Ani is what? Dual. Very good. How about muslimaini? Dual. Very good. Dual. Okay. Same with muslimun, musliman, muslimin, muslimatun, muslimatin. Muslimun, singular, dual, plural. Musliman. Good. Muslimin. Very good. How about muslimatun? Atun. It's good. Sound, feminine, plural. Very good. How about muslimatin? Same thing. Sound, feminine, plural. Okay? So let's reiterate this. Heavy or light. Heavy and light. A heavy ism means what? It either has one of two things. Ends in what? Una, ina, ani, aini. Or ends in tanween. Now let me ask you guys, what do you think light is? Without looking ahead, just taking a guess.
Whatever is not heavy.
Literally, it's going to be the opposite of heavy. So I'll show you what it is now. Yeah. Okay. Light isms. An ism will only be light if there's a reason for it to be light. Again, we don't know the reasons just yet. But an ism is referred to as light in the following two scenarios. Number one is that the ism which ends in what? Una, ina, ani, or aini. Right? If it ends in una, ina, ani, or aini, what is it? Heavy or light? Heavy, right? But here, it is considered light if the noon at the end is removed. So instead of muslimuna, it reads as muslimu. Instead of muslimina, it reads as muslimi. Instead of muslimani, it reads as muslima. Instead of muslimaini, it reads as muslimay. If that noon is missing, then what? That means it is light. Very good. Now here's this. Number two. Why can an ism be light? In an ism which ends in tanween, the second haraka is removed to make it light. So instead of muslimun, it is muslimu. Instead of musliman, it is musli. Instead of muslimin, it is muslimi. Instead of muslimatun, it is muslimatu. And instead of muslimatin, it is muslimati. Very good. So essentially, and I want to go over this. Light, same thing. It either lacks one of two things. The noon at the end is missing in una, ina, ani, or aini. Or does not end in tanween, i.e. has only one haraka at the end. I want to ask you guys one more thing. By default, an ism is what? Heavy or light? Heavy. Remember that. Unless proven light. Unless proven otherwise. Key word is what? Proven. You have to have a reason to make an ism light. Now, we said essentially what are you doing? You're removing the n sound, the noon. So muslimun, you hear the noon sound at the end, muslimun, you don't want to say the noon, you want to make it muslimu, right? Instead of saying musliman, you want to make it muslima. Instead of muslimin, you want to make it muslimi. So you're removing the noon sound. Okay? Now, I want to add one more thing here. When alif lam comes at the beginning of an ism, the tanween drops. The tanween drops. So for example, muslimun means what? A Muslim. How do I make this into the Muslim? Good. Al-Muslimun. Mu. Very good. You can never ever have tanween when there is an alif lam on a word. Tanween is there to denote a common singular word. Usually. There's another case which is a broken plural, which I'll go over today, probably not today, tomorrow. Okay. Open your books to page 23. I want you to go ahead and go over all of this based on what we just did. Just circle it. Take your books out and then we'll go over it. Who's not done? Is everyone done? Okay, let's go over it. Wahidatun, heavy or light? Heavy. Why? Tun, good. How about jaza'i? Light. Why? Because no tanween. Munafiquna? Heavy, very good. Wait, but there's na. Very good. Una.
There's a noon.
It's not singular, right? It's a plural. And plurals, when we're going over plurals, they have what ending sound? Una. Right? Ithmin. Heavy, good. Why? Tanween, good. Muslimati? Light, very good. Why? Good. Ulama? This should be tricky. Let's see who got this. Why is it light? What's missing? The what?
Is that a noon sound?
The noon sound is missing. This is singular, dual, or plural? Dual, good. It's supposed to be qalamani, but the noon is missing. Very good. Remember muslimun, right? Muslimani, muslimaini, muslima. There's a noon missing. Very good. Adaba. Light. Very good. Karimu. Light. Very good. Rahimuna. Heavy. Very good. Why? Alright, good. Walladhani. Why? So is it singular, dual, or plural? Dual. Very good. Mu'raduna. Why? Singular, dual, or plural? Plural. Very good. Muslamu. Light. What is it supposed to be? Good. You know what's the difference between Muslimun and Muslamun? So Muslim is the one who submits. Muslam is the one who is submitted to. Yeah. We go over that in the SARF class, but not in this class. Okay, good. Ta'ibatin. Heavy? Why? Nice. Is it singular, dual, plural, sound, masculine, feminine, plural? Which one is it? Very good. Ghaflatun. Heavy. How do I make it light? Ghaflatu. Very good. Aqlun. Or aqlu rather. Light. Very good. How do I make it heavy? Aqlun. Very good. Alright. Let's go over some Quran.
Did you say that
Yeah.
the last one, Aqlu,
Mm-hmm.
if you put like a al next to it to make it
To make it without the tanween, you're saying?
light?
That's one of the ways, but there's actually other ways that that we'll learn later that it becomes light. Yeah.
As it is, it's light.
Yeah. Actually, you know what I'll do? Where'd it go? Let's see something. I'm going to add one more category. So you can add it to the notes. There's one more way, and ism will be light. An ism will be light when it is a mudaf. You don't know what a mudaf is? I want you to go ahead and circle that and write mudaf next to it. That's where we're going to be studying it. Or, yeah. Write possessive compound around it. Possessive compound. Possessive compound. Let's go over some Quran here. Let's look for heavy and light. قَدْ أَفْلَحَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Al-mu'minuna is heavy. So I'm going to do green for heavy. How do I make it light? Al-mu'minu. Good. الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ خَاشِعُونَ. Khashi'una is what? Heavy. Good. How do I make it light? Good. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنِ اللَّغْوِ مُعْرِضُونَ. Heavy. And how do I make it light? مُعْرِضُو. Good. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِلزَّكَاةِ فَاعِلُونَ. Is heavy or light? Heavy. Very good. How do I make it light? Good. How about lizzakati? Is that heavy or light? It is light. Why? Very good. How do I make it into heavy? Zakatin. Good. وَالَّذِينَ هُمْ لِفُرُوجِهِمْ حَافِظُونَ. حَافِظُونَ is what? It's heavy. How do I make it light? حَافِظُو. Okay. How about furuj? Furuji. That's light, right? How do I make it heavy? Furujin. Good. Him here is a attached pronoun, so it's not part of the word really. It's just connected to it. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَا دَاوُودَ. Actually, hold on here. داوود. There you go. داوود وسليمان علما. داوود. Heavy or light? Light. Sulaymana. Very good. Not ani, it's ana. Light. Ilman. Heavy. Good. وَقَالَ الْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ. What's alhamdu? Heavy or light? Light. Very good, because there is no tanween at the end. Lillahi. Heavy or light? Light. الذي فضلنا على كثير من عباده المؤمنين. كثير? Heavy. Very good. How about عباد? Light. Very good. المؤمنين. Heavy. Very good. Why? إينا. Good. فمكث غير بعيد. بعيد. Heavy because it is تنوين. Good. فقال أحطت بما لم تحط به من سبأ بنبأ يقين. Which ones are heavy? سبأ is heavy. نبأ is heavy. يقين is heavy. وإني مرسلة إليهم بهدية فناظرة بما يرجع المرسلون. مرسلة is good. Have anything else here? بهدية is heavy. Anything else? ناظرة is heavy. How about يرجع? Good. المرسلون heavy. Very good. Well, you guys are Quran experts. Look at that. MashaAllah, very good.
So how does the context change? Is that the purpose of this?
Did we go over why it's heavy or light?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Did we? We went over why something was heavy or light? We didn't. Context does not change per se, but within heavy or light, certain words are heavy, certain words are light. And today we're going to go over that right now in the next lesson. Turn to page 24. What just happened?
To show that I was going to come to the class today, but I am. So, is there a book for me?
Is there a book? Yeah. Safe, could you give me a book out of there?